Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Shadow and Sun. Tonight on our quick craft episode, little guy is going to show you some stuff with his new favorite tool.
I guess. Anyways, it's a gun, but it shoots glue instead of gun stuff.
The hot glue gun. He's been using this all week, non-stop.
Not all week.
It's an Arctech heavy-duty glue gun. We're probably going to get Adtech. Okay. We're probably going to get a couple of different glue guns.
Because this one isn't actually. This is actually a worse one. It's not the tip is not good.
We want to get a glue gun with changeable tips. But for now, let's show you what he's done over the week. I did a few things too, but this is all about him tonight.
Okay.
Let's start with something simple.
The guys, this or
no,
these?
No. Let's start with that.
This is everyone knows you can make slimes out of glue guns. The thing is, this one I kind of messed up, and I did something, but it doesn't matter. We used a green contrast paint, and we painted over the top so that it would stay transparent. We learned something about using contrast paints and the ink and stuff, but we'll explain to that when we get there. And then the next slime that I made, this time, I personally think it looks better. It's a lot more transparent. I'm not sure if that's showing in the camera, but if you can see it, most likely, I'm not sure, but it's a lot more transparent because we painted the bottom. And even at the top, it still looks green, even though the bottom's all that's been painted. Even kind of mix it green light, which is cool, I guess. Cool. Anyways, later we begin. Actually, should I just leave everything on the thing?
Yeah, I'll leave them up there closer.
Okay. So later, we wanted, or he actually was the one. He had the idea of making blood. Or
puddles of blood. You can never have too many puddles of blood.
This was the one we made originally.
Especially for like a mystery game, or Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Little puddles of blood. We made two to try out two different techniques.
One is better than the other one. This one, well, I kind of like how it looks good. We took just the blood red paint from
Army Painter?
Yeah, Army Painter.
Glistening Blood, I believe, is the paint. Lay it flat.
Okay.
Or actually, no.
We painted the back, but we added fluid to it. And then, did you just paint it regular? No, you didn't. And then, we didn't think that turned out as good as it could have.
So we painted the same technique on the bottom.
Just without fluid, but we added black to the back. Which I don't know how it looks like without the black, but...
So you can see, if we put it on the boards, it would look the same, but this is how it would look on a dungeon floor maybe, or something like that. And I think it looks a little darker and a little bloodier, let's put it that way.
Yeah, but over here they look identical.
Because of the black board.
Yeah. Anyways, this next?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Give me a little credit.
He made this. He was attempting to make something else, but he made a better one. This is just a...
Black pudding.
Yes.
Common Dungeons & Dragons staple from all the way back to first edition Dungeons & Dragons. It's just... you layer slow drops and bubbles of the hot glue on something similar to this platform, and then you put a couple of bubbles, and then a couple more bubbles, and a couple more bubbles. I painted the bottom black to try to get that translucent effect, but it didn't turn out, so we added some Army Painter dark tone wash, and...
Which I think that I think we might be, I don't think we understand fully what causes that effect.
But
so I think that's why
it turned out passable.
Also, this wasn't intended to be a black pudding.
I tried to model it once I decided to make it a black pudding. I tried to model it on the original Heritage miniature from their Dungeon Dwellers line, which to me, I think, to date is probably the best black pudding miniature. It looks just like the drawing in the original Monster Manual, and that's what I was shooting for.
By the way, we also have these, but we're probably going to turn one, we might make it into like a blood slime or something, I don't know. We might do something with these two.
But that's what your basic puddles will look like when you just
Like this.
Just let it cool.
Also, this one was made by making an outline, which ended up causing something which looked kind of cool, but at the same time, I wouldn't recommend making an outline. I just recommend pouring a bunch. I would show you, but it's really simple. You just
Go on to the other ones first.
Okay. So, these?
No,
No.
Those.
Okay, these, something that I'm actually going to create one here. This is a creature that I actually created. I don't know what their name is going to be yet. He calls them glue guys. I might give them a name similar to that just because they're actually quite simple.
They're hovering blobbies.
Yes. Should I just...
You show the other two.
This one, they're meant to be more of like an actual like civilized race that could even technically be a player or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter for this. This guy, he is shooting a gun.
More of a sci-fi thing, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to a fantasy setting.
Even though technically they could be used in both if you just give them a different weapon.
Yeah, it's to spell a wand or a staff or something.
Yeah, this guy, both of these guys, including what I'm going to show next, and also the weapons for the guy I'm going to create, I used by taking a toothpick and adding beads to them. I added beads and...
To make the weapons?
Yeah, to make the weapons. I actually had some thought to putting into how the weapons would be. This one isn't being shot because, again, I didn't feel like doing that. I actually added the shot coming out of this one just a few minutes ago.
And it's made out of glue also?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it is made out of glue.
The blast?
Yes.
Okay.
And then this guy who's holding an energy spear. It was a bit harder to have the thing. And some things that I might as well mention now, but when I added like the beads to make the staff look high tech and stuff. The inks that you use to make the contrast paint, he just used the inks. He used the magenta for this guy and the blue for this guy.
Without watering them down with a flow aid, just applied them directly.
And they still
are transparent.
Yeah, they're still pretty transparent.
Very almost lightsabery colored for the blue, I think.
Almost. So we didn't add anything to them. We did for the other ones, and even a bit for this. Also, this is fun. And should I just make one now?
Yeah, go ahead and show them how you did it.
Okay. Should you just unplug the glue gun so I have more room?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna use a plate for this. That might not be the best idea.
Ceramic plates allow the glue to peel off when you're done. It doesn't stick, doesn't leave any residue, and if it did, you could just wash it off with hot soap and water.
I think that's good enough. So, oh, by the way, you've already seen this, so I might as well talk about it now. This thing, which he made.
It's just a shoggoth. I know, just a shoggoth.
Just a shoggoth, yeah.
I made this by using similar techniques, except I added beads that I used for Wyloch's tip on how to make beholders. I used the same beads for eyes here, some toothpick teeth, some glue, tentacle pseudopods.
Which you made with water.
By dropping the glue in a bowl of water and stretching them out.
We're gonna save that.
And that trick I also learned from Dm Scotty. Thanks, guys. Wyloch and Dm Scotty, you guys are a couple of the best out there.
Oh, frick. Oh, I'm not gonna remake this.
Okay.
But yeah, you can talk about that.
I'm going to paint the holes as pupils. I'm going to give it a wash of green and purple, either contrast or actual inks. I'm not sure yet. Hopefully the tendrils, as you can see, they're kind of wiggly, will survive. But this took me like half hour, maybe an hour of total work. But
yeah. Should I talk about the weapons?
Sure. While you wait for that glue to dry.
Yeah. So these weapons that I created, they're
show them closer because they
look
pretty cool.
I used the glue to make like lightning coming off of them. Because the lightning was bigger when I created it. This is kind of over exaggerated to how it would in reality be.
It still came out pretty good for lightning. The straight edges that you were able to get, really, I was really impressed with the way it looks. I think if you were to do the same thing with a blue dragon or something like that, you could probably make a pretty neat lightning bolt breath, or maybe a storm giant's spear or something like that.
Yeah, that could work. I don't know how I should hold these and have the camera look good in it.
But those also were made with toothpicks and beads.
Yeah.
And other jewelry parts, I think. But I think they turned out pretty cool.
Also, I intentionally left the beads unpainted because I liked how the silver looked. Also, I'm just gonna. Also, I might as well create some of the tendrils. I'll count actually. One. Actually, I can do it in this one. It's easier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Looks like 6.
I think it's 7.
Does
Yeah,
it have
7.
to be? Does it have to be an even or odd amount at the
It
same
doesn't.
time?
It doesn't
It can
really.
be different every time?
They can be different, but it would make most sense for them to have the same amount. The result of how they look may be different for different people. You could also use these to make, well, pretty much anything that's clear. I'm gonna make some too curved. No, it was actually very difficult just to make a single one that looked good.
So you're just going to take the best out of them?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I wasn't trying to make a curved one.
You can put that over here so it's safer.
Yeah. So.
Safety first, everybody.
Yes. I think this is probably dry. Okay, it is dry. So, on site. Okay. That's the one issue with plates.
You want the spatula?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you might want to mention the spatula, should you?
Well, it's not really a spatula, it's a cheese slicer.
So, what I did after this, very dangerous, you might burn yourself. Which, by the way, something I might want to notice. You can burn yourself really badly while working on this.
Silver battle scar.
Yeah, this. Very bad. Very bad. Yeah. You can, yeah. It didn't hurt as much as when I burnt myself, I think, here. It created a blister and I needed to, have ice constantly on it. But this definitely looks a lot worse than it felt. But yeah, you can burn yourself a lot while working on this. So try not to burn yourself.
Cheese slicer. Really thin, spatula-like device will help you pry the pieces up off the plate.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if this is going to turn out good or not. Because it is cooling off. Try to reconnect it.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, you can burn yourself, and depending on how long and how bad or how much
Contact.
yeah is had, completely changes how bad you get burnt. Also, what you want to do for their head, I guess, make a thing. Oh, that didn't turn out as bad as I expected it to get. I'm not sure if blowing on it actually does anything. It probably does.
It gives it at least the surface will dry faster.
Yeah. But yeah, once you get this, which is dry now, you want to take, well, first, if there's any glue that's
Any bits you don't like.
yeah, I did actually it isn't fully dry, but it's still good enough. I think the head's actually a bit too small compared to the other one, so I might actually make another one. But as I move this, there might be some time.
A little bigger.
No, I think that's big enough. I just need to, there, that's big enough. Okay, so, so far, is there anything else you want to say while we wait for this to dry?
No.
It's
all on you, bud.
Yeah, I can't think of much to say right now. Well,
we can talk about this base.
Oh yeah, the bases, that's something.
That's just a little bit of granny grading. You get a needlepoint section of your craft store, cut out into a circle. I glued it to the base first, and then cut it out, and then painted it black. dry brushed silver. Put the wire in first, and then slide the grating over it. Bend the wire, glue the wire in.
Also, by the way, he filled the bottom with.
Hot glue to give it a little more.
By the way,
Weight.
that actually kind of sometimes results in bad things, like this. I'm not sure if you. Let's not say anything, but I'm not sure if you notice anything wrong about this. It's
not
pretty
a circle.
easy. It's not a circle because it melted. And I thought that these were identical, like branded stuff, but they might not be because somehow this was melted and this wasn't. One thing I can think of is the fact that, let me compare these two. This has a lot more glue in it than this one. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, because I don't know, but there's a difference, a huge difference.
So be careful when you add glue to the bases. I think that needs a little bit more time.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe not.
just gonna. Okay, it works.
Now you glue the tendrils on?
No, you do the bottom part.
Oh.
Which you can also might be able to do this on a. Oh. So, yeah, while doing the bases, some of them you just did bases. You know how to do bases by now, most likely. But for these guys, if you want to make them, you need to add the wires and stuff. I'm not sure if adding the glue to the bottom of them really helps. By the way, something you're definitely going to notice just by watching this video, there's a lot of string. Like a lot of string. And the string doesn't really help.
Yeah, you can just pull that off when they fully dried.
Yeah.
I pulled out some strings off some of your little glue guys before.
Also, by the way, they almost instantaneously dry in water. But that almost is actually really important. Because you can't just dump them in water and pour them and take them out seconds before. You need to wait like 10 seconds, I think, minimum.
Maybe more like 20.
Yeah, that's what I said, minimum. Okay. Okay, I think that works. So, once you've done that, you can just pull these off. And because of how I did it, there's going to be a lot. You might actually be able to pull some apart and do stuff with them. Oh. But yeah, string is going to be a huge issue while using stuff with glue, especially if you're trying to make, like, for example, one of the glue things. Also, by the way, something that is most likely obvious, but it wasn't obvious to me for some weird reason. You can, as you just saw me do, you can melt with the stuff. Also, by the way, if you leave it on for a while, it will create this really weird effect, which is very strange, and I think this is too short. But yeah, just kind of choose one that you think is going to work, and if it doesn't, then choose another one. This is kind of just for making anything like this with glue guns. Also, I just realized there's one last thing after this that is going to be actually almost the main thing of this video, but it's just taking kind of like you get how you make this. Should I fully make it?
Put a couple more tentacle thingies on.
Okay.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going to use to make him hold one of the things. I might as well put it on now. Okay. But yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm not sure how much more I should do. Just like a few more.
Yeah.
Because I want to get to the next part, which is actually maybe even cooler than these. Maybe it's more. Also, something Now you can make pretty much every single element, other than like earth and. Well, that was bad. With a glue gun, you can make lightning stuff. You can make air stuff. You can make water stuff. You can make ice stuff. The thing that made that one good just melted off. Yeah, using a glue gun can be very frustrating. But yeah, this is all I'm going to do for now because I don't want to waste too much time. I'm not sure how I should make this new thing. But here's the thing. So, that is almost... That is all that stuff. And yeah. Then there's this. I created a fire elemental. It took pretty much 2 full glue sticks. I built it around
Tea light?
a tea light, an orange one. I'm not sure
Put
how
it
we're going
close
to
to the
paint
camera
it.
so they can see the face.
Yes, I added a face because it should have a face. Originally, it was a lot smaller. It didn't have the tea light because it was just kind of a side project because I knew we were making this video. Then I added the tea light. Then I added the arm. Then I thought it was finished, but then I realized, because he told me and stuff, that it should have a second arm because it would be strange if it didn't. So yeah, the way that you make a fire. Bring me the plate.
I gotta do one.
Okay. So, the way you make fire is pretty simple. You can also make like fireballs and stuff.
Which we're gonna do later.
Yeah, but probably not the video. Cause
No. We're gonna.
So
do
it's
a
actually
whole-
kind of semi-difficult. I'm not sure if you can, yeah, that probably already failed. But I'm going. I noticed that you can do stuff like that and it might actually fix it. Because that doesn't look bad. But what you usually want to do is create a bunch of strands, like, not like that, like, and then after I noticed that you can just melt down the bottom.
So there's something to stand on.
Yeah. But yeah, stuff like that.
And then you can glue the chunks together. The separate pieces. This
Yeah.
is the same way he made the fire pit for the skull throne.
Yeah, you're
You
gonna...
can also trim any rounded edges you don't like off with scissors.
Yeah, because I actually found that you might want to not only make the thing that it stands on, pull that back, but also you're gonna want to use it melting to your advantage, and kind of go over it. You just kind of hold it while moving it, and then...
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how you make fire with a glue gun. Oh. That could have been bad.
We haven't decided if we're going to paint these with contrast paints or just rely on the lighting, but we're going to experiment with that in one of our next videos and show you how to make some walls of fire, some fireballs, a campfire, things like that. But this was just a...
Small thing, well maybe not small because the video is probably pretty long by now, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Just some of the fun things you can do with a glue gun.
Also, by the way, should I make a small lightning thing? Might as
You
well.
can try.
It's really simple, you just kind of make things like that. You do things like that.
That looks pretty good right off the bat. Wow. You're getting really good at this.
Yeah, the lightning, it might take a while. I'm surprised I was able to make something like that my first attempt. But yeah, that's pretty much stuff you can do with glue guns. Might have missed it one.
Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys Sunday when we paint Dirt Car, the Dungeons and Lasers dragon that we just received.
By the way, that's gonna be what we're doing all month
Well, until it's done.
until it's done. Yeah.
So we'll see you Sunday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Leave a comment if you got any other ideas for us. And we'll see you then.
Yes.
Bye.